Welcome to this failed Deathsmiles run. Generally the done thing within the shoot 'em up games community is to commentate over successful runs, but this isn't really for anyone to watch except for the people on my WhatsApp group here, so I'm just going to commentate over what I'm doing and sort of give a tutorial to the game, right, at the same time as talking about how sick I am at beating this very easy level. Now, what I'm doing here is mainly when enemies come onto the screen, what you're going to want to do is shoot them until they die. That's going to be your number one strat here. The other thing is that you've got two different types of shot. So you've got a more powerful one, which is the one I'm doing here, and then you've got like a weaker one, right? So the weak one, you can move faster when you're using it, but it's a bit shitter. Luckily, for most of the early game with Rosa, you can just use the strong one, even though you're a bit slower, because the difference between her shots and the power velocity of them is like minimal. No, that's not what I meant. I meant the difference. Sorry, I wasn't concentrating there. I was thinking about something else. What I meant was they are different in terms of power, but the slowdown that she gets from using her powerful shot is less than a lot of the other characters. Like the other characters really slow down when you're using the powerful shot, and you can use that slowness to do precise movement so that you can dodge around when the bullets get really thick on the screen. But yeah, in the case of Rosa in the early levels, just use the power shot. As you can see there, just straight murking. Next we're going to do the graveyard, which is, the thing is, the game to start out fairly easily. Most of these types of games you're going to, it gets hard at level 3, and this is sort of no exception. Even though you can pick the difficulty, you want it to kind of ramp up to get you in the zone. Now you see on the bottom left there, it says 1000, right? Now that is not the amount of press ups I can do at any given time. That is actually, it's a meter that builds up. So see where the enemies are dropping these items. As soon as they drop, right, you pick them up, and that will add to that meter. Then you press both the shoot left button and the shoot right button at the same time. You'll activate it to go into hyper mode. That will also clear all the bullets that are currently on the screen. So it's really good to use it at opportunities like that. And if you notice, like when the enemies are dropping these items, when they die, they start out as gold crowns, then they bounce on the floor and they become skulls, basically. The idea is that that will add to that meter and also your points score. But you know, nobody gives a fuck about points these days anyway. But it will add to your meter more if you're closer to the enemy and you catch them just as they fall out, rather than turning to skulls. So you can build up and use your hyper meter more frequently. Now, I heard, this is just a good bit of advice. Now, I don't do it here, but that's because I've played this game quite a lot. Whenever your hyper meter gets to 1000, just use it straight away. Now, I use it here because this bit fucking annoys me with all the rocks. And if you can believe it, I haven't done this in about 20 years, but I got hit by one of them. I don't know why. It was the one time I decided to record a run, I got hit by one of the rocks. Now, an environmental thing is only going to make one of your little life bars go down by half, so it's not that big a deal. But I cannot believe I did that on the second level, the second easiest level in the fucking game. I got hit by one of the rocks. Haven't done that in so long. But yeah, anyway, your hyper meter, just use it whenever you want, really, or use it as soon as you get it. Because if you're playing well, you can usually charge it up pretty quickly. Anyway, so it's not that big a deal. Just use it when you want to fucking use it. For me, I tend to use it at opportune moments. And you can see here, I activate it on the last lev, and then it carries over. So I've still got a little bit of it left. But you see how quickly it charges up, because I managed to get it charged up again by the boss of this level as well. And it's a really, really handy to use it on this boss too. I'll demonstrate. So now we're on level 2 difficulty. So this is where the game tends to get like a bit harder, I guess. Now, I've only recently just got back into playing this, which is why I'm really rusty, and you'll see that later on when I fail the run. But I've memorized, still have some of the enemy placements and like the bullet patterns memorized, as you can no doubt see, but it's not perfect, and I have to bomb on on the boss on this level, which is the best fucking boss in the game, by the way. You'll see why. I'm not going to spoil it. But you see how my meter's already been charged up, right? That's how quickly you can do it, and especially on this level, because most of the enemies, there's no like floor. Most of the enemies are flying, so you can collect the gold ones really quickly. So you might as well use it definitely on the previous level, because you're guaranteed to fucking get it on this level. Right, so here's the boss. It's the giant cow. Now I'll demonstrate here the hyper. I use it to cancel all the bullets on the screen. That's what it's called when it erases them. It's called bullet cancelling. So there, I did it there because I was afraid I was going to get hit, right? I usually do it on that pattern, but I managed to dodge around it. And then here I'm going to use a bomb. There we go, because I was fucked and I was about to get hit. You get 3 bombs per segment of life. If you look on the top left there, you got those 3 segments of life. You get 3 bombs per segment. Use them, because if you just die, I mean, and this is it, I fuck it up on this run, but use them, because otherwise you're playing a game without a resource that is very, very needed, right? And I used, I usually use them all up, because you might as fucking well, right? But on this run, there was points where I should have fucking bombed and I didn't, and the rocks on level 2 were like an example of that. Now this level, I would say, is really where the game starts to get like properly difficult, right? And people are going to struggle. Typically, you know, people were saying that back in their day with like arcades, the level 3 was to start taking your money, but it wasn't really. It's just that if you consider the first part of the game to be the tutorial or the onboarding section, and then this is where those skills are going to get tested, and it is fucking annoying. But I will demonstrate here, and it's difficult to get consistently, but there is a point where you can get an extra life or life up. I do get it, but I think I immediately lose it. I can't remember, but anyway, I'll show you in a bit. I think it's just after this, if I recall correctly. But you can see here, like, the patterns of all the enemies and all of this shit is like starting to ramp up. You're having to think a lot faster and react a lot faster. But yet still, because this level's quite claustrophobic, you can more or less use her strong shot the whole way. So see that car down there? I'm steering the roses that come out of her shot into the car, and you saw I got the life up there, because that's where the secret life up is. But to concentrate on that and everything else firing around you is really fucking hard. That said, the roses that she fires, you can steer them by moving your character up and down. So if you sort of move down into the floor, they will keep hitting the car, and then there's an opportunity for an extra life. I get the only other available extra life a bit later on as well, which I will demonstrate. So look, I got the extra life, right? Now watch this. This is fucking dumb. There. Get hit. Immediately fucking lose it like an idiot. Now this boss is kind of a ball ache, and I pressed bomb by accident there. Oh no, I hypered. So yeah, that's fine. I mean, a good place to use it, to be honest. This is also one of the cool things about playing the Mega Black Label Edition. Yeah, merked. But anyway, is that this character here, Sakura, you can actually get her, unlock her as a character. She's not in the other versions, so really worth playing. A lot of people like her. I think she's like super easy mode if you're struggling, but I'm not sure. I've never actually used her. Alright, Port Town. So this is the point where you're going to want to start thinking about switching to your weaker shot when you need to. See, that's it there, that blue one, right? Because a lot of the enemies are sort of spread out here, and if you don't manage them effectively, what's going to happen is that you're going to start noticing too many bullets piling up on the screen. So that's what I do here is I'm always like switching between the two. Now, more or less, all of these enemies will die really, really quickly. But then you got this one here, so I switch back to the strong shot, as you can see there. And then once I'm done with these, I switch back to the weaker one, I guess. Oh no, maybe I don't. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, you just kind of want to, and also, like, if you want to avoid something quickly, switch to the weak shot. It's not really been necessary up until the point in this game. You know, and you know, to figure out your own shit too, but take my words with a pinch of salt, because this is a failed run from somebody who only just started playing this game again recently. So yeah. Yeah, and you'll see why, man. Like the fucking volcano, there we go, I take a hit there. The 6th level is a fucking, it's horrific, and I haven't practiced it in ages. I used to do it for be able to do it fairly consistently. Fuck, I can't fucking speak today. I'm very tired. Right, so this boss, the other ones I would say just kind of figure out how to do them yourself. This one I'm going to show you a couple of tricks. So it's in phases. On the second phase, you want to go right to the top, because that will cause him to do the same, right? Then those pumpkins are out of the way, so when they start spinning across the room, you can just effectively move out of the way, right? Nice easy thing to do. There's also a point where I usually bomb on this one because it's just fucking annoying to dodge, and that really is what the bombs should, well, you use them to avoid it. If you're in a situation where you know you're about to die, and that's usually going to be about a half a second fucking window, you use them. But you see, when he did that scythe attack, I used one because it's annoying. If there's a section of the game that you're really struggling with and cannot seem to get better at, then yeah, you know, you're going to just bomb your way through it. So he does the scythe attack, I bomb them so that they all disappear, and that section of the boss is done for me. Now this is the one that just before I last kind of stopped playing the game, I had to practice again and again and again, because I was like, and there's a level select in the game where you can just practice. So I was doing that like a lot, and yeah, this one is just, it kicks my ass, man. And I haven't done it in ages, and I forgot the route that I'd sort of smashed out for it. You know what I mean? Because you kind of like have a consistent pattern in your head, like go over here, kill this thing, and yeah, there's the second life up. By the way, it's just that enemy that drops it, and then I immediately get hit straight away. So yeah, this is the bit where I'm going to look really newbie, basically. But this part here, I cannot remember how I did it consistently, and I think I managed to get around it without taking a hit. But that was always a bit no, there we go, I did take a hit. Yeah, always fucked me up. But yeah, that's the only 2 life ups on this route, I think. There is a point on the last level, on the last boss, if you beat his first phase without using a bomb, he will drop 2 life ups, or 2 extra bombs, or something. I don't remember. Yep, take another hit there. Annoying. I mean, I cannot remember how to do that bit. I'm going to have to go back and practice it, to be honest with you. And then this is where you'll notice something, and I can explain this. See where the game is slowing down? This is intentional, right? Some of the hardest parts in the game, it will slow down, and what it was on the original hardware, this, if you notice, the game kind of looks a little bit dated, right? It's because the original hardware used dated hardware on purpose. Like, even for the time, it was dated, and what they would do to provide slowdown is just fill the screen with a bunch of shit, and therefore the game would slow down. So they've had to emulate it here and put it in via code, because obviously, you know, people are using modern machines now. This boss actually isn't that fucking hard, and I always beat him consistently, but you'll see now that I fuck it up, and it's so annoying. There, it's really annoying. But anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. Bye.